Right here, this is one of the greatest things ever caught on film.
That's right.
On this street. Everfair?
Everfair Terrace, 1621 Everfair Terrace, Nurse. But yeah, this is it. This is where it started.
This is it.
This is probably where it'll end.
Is faith also an aspect of Seth Galifianakis?
Yes, faith is, I'm a youth minister and in charge of youth chili cook-offs.
I'm very sorry.
That's a buzzkill. See, I can, like that was a joke. Let's see, get it, because it's a buzzsaw probably. And I was like, that's a buzzkill. That's what my students say. The guys that do football a lot, they're like, that's a buzzkill. And I'm like, what's that mean? And they're like, oh, it just means it's not good. The only thing we have in common is that we both like the Fugees.
The Fugees? I mean, do you have a memory of actually sharing anything with the Fugees, or was that just, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
How about the Fugees CD? Whenever I had to pick Zach up from the airport once, and I was like, Zach, do you want to listen to this new rap group, the Fugees?
The world is a bit of a buzzkill right now, isn't it? So don't let it be a buzzkill, and just laugh. That right there, I just thought we could, just inject ourselves with that. That one of the greatest characters ever. Seth Galifianakis, man. Youth group chili cook-offs and buzzkills and I'll make you dance better to rave. Just go watch Purple Onion, his special way back in the day. It'll change your life. Let's go. Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back, everybody, to the Ben Stortini Show. I'm your host, of course, Mr. Ben Stortini. That's BENSTORTINI. And how are you today on this fine, beautiful winter day? Good, I'm glad to hear. Me? I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. We got a lot to go over here. So I called this one Me Time. I'm going to jump right into it. The reason I called this episode Me Time is because we all need me time. And I got a good laugh the other day. I saw somebody sent me this clip. This dude, he's just sitting on the toilet. And he's just like, he's this dad. And you can hear the craziness in his house going on. But he's just sitting on the toilet and he's having his time, man. The reason I bring this up is because we all need this, though. Life is just hectic. Life is just life, right? There's just things all day, every day. Things going on, things you got to get done. Work, this, that, kids. Boom, boom, boom. Add in winter, which is just fantastic. Love ice. Love freezing cold. I love that shit. I love the wind. I love the wind when it like freezes your face and then it just like makes my beard into icicles and then my nose freezes up. You get nosebleeds at night. It's really nice. It's nice. It's really dry too. It's great. Love winter. So I was thinking about times like my dad, for instance, all right, his me time. What was his me time? So I was thinking back. I'm like, oh my God, I remember this. My dad's me time. It's actually the picture of this episode that I put up. I remember back in the day, growing up, my dad was, whenever he wasn't working or whenever he was home, 99.9% of the time, he was playing guitar. He'd be just sitting in a corner, sitting on whatever, and he was just playing guitar. And he would go into another dimension. He would get lost. I remember when I was young, I'd be like, Dad, could you, Dad? And I would be like constantly, he would never answer. He was gone in his tasty little Frank Zappa licks, his little Steely Dan, you know what I mean? And it would take my mom to be like, Tony, and he'd snap out of it. That was his me time, right? I don't blame him for it. I mean, he would disappear into his guitar. And it's funny too, because, his me time affected me because I ended up in the long run for a very long time hating guitar music. Any music that had guitars in it, I hated acoustic guitars, electric guitars. I just hated that music in general. I just despised it. I hated hearing it because I kind of like associated it with, hey, Dad, not getting an answer. And it was all the time, year after year after year, just him just not responding, and him lost in his tasty licks. Finally, I got over that shit. I'm okay with the guitar now. Don't worry, I'm good. I can listen to Cream now. It's funny because think about that. What is your me time? Where do you get lost? I remember this one. This was in North Bay when I was in college, and this is a perfect example of somebody who's decoded me time as a man, right? So we lived on this one street in North Bay in college on my last year, my third year. I forget the name of the street, but it was right by the Algonquin Hotel. We lived in this tiny little house with my friend Alex, and right across the street there was this like old shabby broken down looking house, but in the front of it was this huge hovercraft. Okay, and it was just like a work site around the hovercraft. Like some people have old boats or old trucks broken down in their front yard, old dirt bikes. I've seen this. I grew up in the country, but this was different. This was a giant hovercraft. Okay, big piece of fun. But we'd always see them every single night. Now, rain, sleet, snow, snowstorms, North Bay, freezing cold, minus 1,000. So you talk about winter here in Toronto. No. North Bay will put years on you, their winters. It's just awful. But he would be out there, snowstorms, whatever. Every single day, it was like he'd come home from work, whatever he did, park the truck, go inside for not much time, and every day like clockwork outside working on his hovercraft, right? He was married, he had a lady, we didn't know his name, it was probably Randy or something like that. We'll call him Randy. Randy was outside, working on his hovercraft, snowstorm. My third year was coming to an end, and I wanted to ask him. I was like, you know what? I want to get to the bottom of this. Like, how come you can't see? Months went by, like an entire year of school went by, and this guy is still working on his hovercraft outside, right? And it's funny too because I'm pretty sure he didn't like his wife too much, because when he went away or he was gone for work, 40% of the time in the week there was other men coming to the house. It was brutal. It was not a good thing going on in that house. Guys would show up and she'd just be like just having a cigarette on her front porch. It was just gross. I think she had a San Jose starter jacket too, just hauling butts in her pajama pants, and these guys would come and go. It was awful, right in front of this hovercraft. So the year's about to come to an end. I'm about to go home, about to graduate. I'm like, there's one thing I have to settle. I have to find out, like, is this hovercraft fixed? Like, is it ready to go, Randy? So right before we were about to move, I decided, I'm going to go ask him. I'm going to go strike up some conversation with him. Next time I see him outside working on that hovercraft, I'm going to go ask him, like, is this shit okay? Like, you ready to go? Like, catch some grouse or whatever you're doing, some pigeons. I don't know. You ready to go down to New Orleans? So I go over to him like, hey, man, how you doing? I've never actually spoken with you before. I live right. He's like, yeah, I've seen you before. I'm like, okay. He sounded like Seth, actually. He's like, yeah, I've seen you before. I'm like, cool. I'm like, your hovercraft, that's a beautiful hovercraft you got right there. He's like, yeah, thanks, man. I've been working on this for years. Yeah, I know. I've seen that. Like, you're outside every day in that thing. What's wrong with it? Is it the engine? He's like, come here. I'm like, what? He's like, oh no, this thing works. It's fixed. It's been fixed for years. What? My wife just yip-yaps way too much, and I need a place to go to get away from her hell, her wrath. She destroys my soul. He didn't say all this, but this is how it came across. I come out here to get away from her. I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm 20 at the time, so I don't really understand this yet. I'm like, that's your wife? And so you're coming out here every day to get away from your wife, the woman that you married? Like, yep, come out here every day. Just got to get away from her mouth. Oh my God. Okay. So I shook his hand. It was so matter of fact. He's like, all right, have a good day. 45. Let's skip 25 years. Now, I don't have a hovercraft. I don't have a hovercraft. But what I do have is my time, me time, that we all need. So the point of me telling these two stories is I want everybody to look at themselves with this one. And I'm going to look at myself right here with this, and maybe we can relate. So for me, the toilet thing was hilarious, what I mentioned off the top. I do that. It's funny. That's part of my me time. I like to go sit in there. I like to bring my coffee. I like to sit down, maybe 20, 25 minutes sometimes, man. You know what I mean? Just sit there and have my time. Do what I want. Doors closed, fans on, a little bit of that white noise to just kind of close out the screaming and yelling. We're good, right? So that's one. Another one used to be for me was basketball. I used to just go shoot around, man. I've mentioned it before, but if I was having any issues in life, anything in life, I could just go to the court and just shoot around, and that would give me my space, and I would be able to clear my head, and I would be able to go home after that. You know, things at least would be clearer in my mind of what my next step is. You know what I mean? And don't let that beat me down. So that was definitely part of my me time. Running, man, running is and was a war for me time. You're 100% in your head and in your body because you're feeling everything. You're doing basically a scan of your entire body from your toes to the top of your head of what you're feeling, how you're feeling, your pace, your breathing, everything. Like that is pure me time. You know, it was perfect for that. It was a perfect getaway, and you would get lost in the run. That was big time for me. Obviously the gym, this podcast, and I like documentaries, and it's just little things for me, man. The things that you can look at, don't look past it like that's nothing. I enjoy my cheat meal on Friday. I eat well all week, and then Friday comes, I devour. Dude, I'll order one night only pizza. I will destroy an entire large pizza. I'll eat a bunch of cereal. I'll eat bunch of like what Cat Williams said when he be in the kitchen all high eating his kids' snacks. I'm eating the lunch granola bars. I'm eating their cereal. I'm eating everything. So this is from about 8 o'clock until I go to sleep. I am destroying everything in the house on Friday nights, and I love that. I pick a documentary. Like I'm already looking forward to tomorrow. I'm gonna watch Alex Honnold climbing up that skyscraper thing on Netflix. Man, that's my guy with no ropes. Get my pizza. Eat up everything in the house. That's me time. That's beautiful. That resets me. I love that. And then the gym, and then, you know, this podcast, and I get to sit here and I get to talk about it. That's a good combination. And we all need that. And it's funny because I know some people that just don't have that. They don't give themselves that time, whether they just can't find in their day. It's like they're on the freeway going really fast. They don't see an off ramp in their entire day until they go to sleep. If you don't have it, find it. And force it, whatever that is. Join a hockey league, a men's league, basketball, do whatever, man. It's something. You need something, because that's how us as men, as we grow up, and women, as we get older, if we just kind of like kick everything to the side, like basketball's took a side with me, and people that know me, I love basketball, still do. But I haven't played since I went to go see my guy Phil in Sudbury 2 years ago, and I played. You know, I still got it. Matter of fact, but it's like you can't kick everything to the side. Make sure you got that me time, man. Enjoy that, because time is going much quicker than it was when you were a kid. It just seems, especially when you have kids, time is just clicking by so fast. So check your own timeline too. Like I say with running, check yourself from head to toe. How are you? What's going on? What's that feeling right there? How's my head? Where's my head at with this? Where's my stress level at? How am I doing? Lay it all out in front of you. Pick at the things you don't think you need and go with the things that you want to make yourself happy. Find that rhythm, find that flow. You know, it's funny, before I get into this, before I get into my MRI result, I got my result. So, let me just go into that then. So, yeah, I got my MRI result. So last Sunday, so you're hearing this on Friday. This past Sunday, I went for a run. And then on Monday, I received my MRI results from my doctor. And long story short, man, I knew it. 2 years of pain, not knowing what it is, thinking I'm going crazy. You know, like when I went to France, it was horrible when I was in France. I'm like, why is it so bad? I haven't done anything. Like I literally been on a plane, and it was horrible. You know, it was just these flashes of just so much pain, and like it would feel like I had a goddamn infection here, and it would go into my groin, and it was like, what is going on with me? And everywhere I went, to the doctors, taking piss tests, I'm clean. No, man, you're good. I'm like, no, I'm not good. So 2 years, right? So I ran that marathon, came 60th out of 2,000 runners. And then from then on, from like days, I was feeling it before that race too, but just ever since then. So like 2 years, get my MRI results, torn hip. I have a tear in my hip. So I've had a tear in my hip since so I ran that race, came 60th, ran a 4:28 pace with a fucking torn hip. Crazy. I remember waking up in the morning, I'm like, because it travels, the pain just goes, you don't know where it's at. It's like a C shape that just goes to the back of your ass, up the lower back, around your side, hip, into your groin. You're like, what is wrong with me? So it was all in my head. I thought I was I was dying, but I ran that race and just I muted that part in my brain. That's what I did. I just shut that part off in my brain and ran the race. But now I look at it, 4,000 kilometers later, whatever. My God, I could have destroyed myself. And not only do I have a tear in my hip, but I guess I have osteoarthritis in the ball and joint of my hip. So I got that and that. 2 things. Just fighting each other every single day. So I got to take 12 weeks off of running, which I'm actually happy. It's funny too, because my body was telling me, Ben, stop running. I've said it times on this podcast. I'm like, I got to take a break. I got to stop. Problem is with me, I'm an addict. I'm an absolute addict with things. And I couldn't come to that conclusion to tell myself to stop unless there was physical evidence. I had to go to court with my body, and I had to, judge, jury, sealed and delivered. You have a tear in your hip. You can't run. You can't do leg press at the gym. You have to change this. You can't do that anymore for quite a while. You got to let this heal. So last run was last Sunday, and that's going to be the last run for about 12 weeks, man. Well, whatever it takes to just make me better. My cardio I'm still gonna have cardio, obviously. My bike, the incline, treadmill. I'm still gonna, Stairmaster, all this. My cardio is gonna be fine, but I'm flipping shit to do this right, because now I have the evidence that I can't do this anymore. So I'm taking this, I'm going to turn into a fucking superhero, man, a Viking superhero. Like, I am taking this as a blessing, because now I have answers to the pain, which is beautiful. And that's what I wanted. Instead of going to sleep at night like, oh my God, what is wrong with me, and going crazy. No, I'm okay. I'm going to be fine. This is not life or death. Now I have an answer for the pain. Just move forward. So chiropractors, physio, whatever I got to do, I'm going to be a fucking superhero, man. And I'm going to go even harder. And it's funny too, because I told some people kind of close to me, and one of the dudes in my neighborhood, I told him, he's a runner. I told him what was going on. He suggested his physiotherapist, blah, blah, blah. Then he said something. It was funny. This is my mind state. And it really made me look at my own mind state. I'm like, whoa, this is how I think. Because he was like, oh yeah, physio, we're going to get better. We'll get our speed back. And, he doesn't run as fast as I do. He's like, yeah, but we're not as fast as such and such person on a street in our neighborhood. He's like, our idol. He put our idol. And I wrote back and I was like, this is my mindset. I'm like, no, he's not my idol. No, civilians, I'm not idol. I said, my idols are Michael Jordan, Ricky Henderson, Kipchoge, the best of the best of the best. I can't compare myself to other dudes. You know what I mean? I have to look at the best. And that clued in that the fact that annoyed me when he said that shows me where my head's at. Like, what, first of all, what's wrong with you, Ben? Like, it's okay. But secondly, he's like, that right there is something you can't teach. You can't coach that. And I'm hoping that drips into my kid. I don't want them to compare themselves to others around them. I want them to be the best of the best of the best and to fucking win and not look at everybody else and compare themselves to everybody else. If you're going to compare yourself to anybody else, put it at the highest of the high. And that is where I want to reach. I want to reach the best of the best, and I'm going to be better than that. That's the way you got to look at it. And I'm okay with that. And this made me realize that I got to turn the hip. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going harder than I was before, but just smarter. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So to you, if you feel anything, go get it checked. Our healthcare system, that took me 2 years to get that MRI. 2 years. If you got something right now, go to your doctor and get it checked out, because God knows how long it's going to take for you to get the answers. But go get some answers. On that note, let's go switch some worlds. You heard me? All right. I want to give a shout out. Usually I give a shout out to civilians, friends of mine. But this time around, I want to give a shout out to, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put politics in this podcast. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give a shout out to, over the weekend prior, we went out to my lady's parents' house, and her dad just turned 80. And I was sitting beside him while we were eating that dinner, and he's like, he looked at me and he said, I cannot believe I'm 80. He said, time just went poof. I was just 40. I was just your age. Now I'm 80. And you could see it really hit him hard that he turned 80. But I want to give a shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to him making it to 80 and my father-in-law. Happy birthday to him and many more years ahead of you, man. Many more. That's my mom on that sample. And welcome back, everybody. And here's another edition of the Stortini verse. Got some docs for you, got some music for you, and I got a challenge for you. So let's jump right into it. Let's jump on the dance floor. 1986. Let's go. Just a headband, some tight jeans, and a tank top. And some aftershave. Still got a little bit of drywall on your hands. You know what I mean? Just got there from work. Yo, Stacy, I just asked the DJ to play the song for you. Do you like this song?
Yeah, I love Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, Pete's on fire with this one. Yo, I told you I work in construction, right, Stacy?
Yeah, you do.
You know what they call me on the work site?
What's that?
They call me the sledgehammer.
Why is that?
Because I work with a long, hard tool, Stacy. Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer, 1986. Let's go. And the next one we got up right here was actually a suggestion in the comments for my last week's show where it was I did Lissandro Mezza. I was suggested from a dude, I think he's out in Colombia, who suggested this group right here, Los Corrados de Mahahual, El Hijo de Tuta. This song right here, I played for my son yesterday. He could not stop dancing. I think he pissed himself a little bit. Here we go. Ay. Bueno. Colombia. This is a tune, man. Impossible not to move. That cumbia.
Yeah.
Oy, oy, oy. Let's wait till the singing comes in. Game over, man. El hijo de tuta. Oh my God, man. Thank you, whoever it was that suggested this group to me, man. That is now going to be on my list of one of my tunes. So thank you. Gracias, amigo. Next up, we got a documentary, man. Let's talk about the documentary. So I jumped back into some Netflix classics, man. It's called, what's it called? It's called Dope. And I think it was like 2019, 2020. Go check this shit out. It's basically just they follow the whole process. So they'll be in, like, for instance, they'll be in Colombia for the guys that are literally picking the coca leaves and then bringing them back and making them into a paste. And then they take the paste, the whole process, and then they take the paste and there's a mule that takes the paste to the person who crystallizes it and makes it into pure cocaine. Then it shows how they get that pure cocaine then to Dominica, to Puerto Rico, Rico, and then to the States, to Miami, or then to Spain, or wherever it's going, right? And then straight to the user's crack pipe, or straight to the dealers, or whatever, right? So it's just the whole process, and they see it, they show every part of the process. So the dealer, the fiend, the farmer, everything is so interesting, and they do it for every type of drug out there, and it's crazy. The fentanyl issues, the meth one was crazy. But I had watched this before, and I watched it again. It makes me want to go microdose again. It makes me want to microdose some mushrooms again and get back into that game. So we'll see. I'll let you know next episode. So yeah, go watch Dope on Netflix. Great series. And my challenge for this week is simple. It's going to go along with the show. Create some me time for yourself this weekend. Whether that's spending an extra 10-15 minutes on that toilet with the door closed and the fan going, like, don't bother dad right now, man. He is in his zone. Don't ignore your kids. If they got a question, answer. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, dad. You know, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be Toner. Be you. Have your me time, enjoy it, and then give yourself that reset. Let yourself smile, fill your soul up with that happiness, man, and it will help you get about your day and get about life. On that note, that's that. I want you to enjoy your weekend. As always, thank you so much for checking in. The downloads are just skyrocketing, which is amazing on the audio end. There's a whole new group, man, and I was right. There's somebody in Houston by the airport. In Houston, Texas, that's listening. There's somebody in where was it? Florida. Florida is now starting to like percolate a little bit. There's somebody out in Portland that's starting to percolate. New York, New Jersey, Toronto. There's a big bunch of you that are listening. But to all of you that are listening, man, and it's starting to grow very organically. I'm starting to get a bunch of emails from people trying to like, are you the host of this? Like, it's all bullshit. It's just scams, right? But they do give me a little bit of stats, and this show's doing pretty good on audio, man. That's not why I'm doing this, but it's showing that, you know, when you stay honest and true to yourself and don't try to fake jacks and not out here trying to get clicks and get views and all this shit, and not paying for bots and paying for this and pay. You get true people listening, and that's what this is about. Because there's going to be, everybody's dealing with issues, and everybody's dealing with stress, and everybody's got a life that they're leading. And everybody, you know, if you take some time out and be able to listen to this podcast and see that dude's a normal dude, he's dealing with shit the same that I'm dealing with. And I appreciate that, because he's not sugarcoating it. You know, he's talking about taking shits, and that's his time out. That's beautiful. That's me time. So on that note, salute to all of you, and I will see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. I love you. Thanks for taking the time to jump in the portal with me. But do me one favor, okay? Hit subscribe on Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and leave a 5-star review so the algorithm kisses the pod and sends it out to the streets looking good, because that's how it works. Have a great weekend, and please don't ever forget, this guy loves you.